Thanks, Cole, and thank you everyone for joining us today. And as Cole did mention, today's topic is email versus marketing automation. 5 signs your healthcare marketing team is ready for marketing automation. So we're really excited to talk about email marketing and marketing automation today, especially since marketing automation is an area that healthcare is just beginning to dip their toes into and really try to understand. After this webinar, our goal is that you will have an understanding if you are ready for marketing automation at your organization. So we're going to start off with some really basic items like what is the difference between email marketing and marketing automation. But don't worry, we'll get in a lot deeper as we go along, answering common questions like how do you know if your company is ready to make the switch? We all know how powerful and important email marketing is, but implementing marketing automation can dramatically increase the effectiveness of the email marketing strategy you may already have in place today. So just a quick walkthrough of our agenda today going top down. So as I mentioned, we're going to start off by walking through a general overview of email marketing and marketing automation. And once we introduce both of those concepts, we'll talk about the state of marketing automation and healthcare specifically, and then hit on those 5 key indicators that show you about growing your email service provider, and then finish off discussing the future of marketing automation, and then wrap up with a Q&A session at the end. So what is the difference between email marketing and marketing automation? Email marketing is sending a message to a target group of people using an email platform. And despite the rise of social media and other digital channels, email marketing is still the most effective way to connect directly with your healthcare consumers. An email service provider will only provide you the functionality to send email blasts and then track those open and click rates. But this is not scalable and becomes unmanageable, and there really isn't a lot of strategy involved. So some typical examples of email marketing conducted by hospitals and health systems are newsletters. I'm sure a lot of you listening out there have a monthly or quarterly newsletter that goes out. E-signs, new doctor, service line, and location announcements, promotion of upcoming programs, events, or classes, Health Awareness Month education, and really just any email sent to patients or healthcare consumers using an email platform. Marketing automation, on the other hand, is a software platform that automates a lot of the manual tasks and multi-step processes that are required by an email platform. This creates many efficiencies and will save you a lot of time and allows for increased measurement and data consolidation so you can make some data-driven decisions. You can track, gather, and combine data that would be difficult to obtain or to manually respond to with just a traditional email service provider. So terms like drip campaigns and automated programs are used frequently when referring to marketing automation, along with branching and logic as well. Drip campaigns allow marketers to drip or deliver emails in spaced intervals. So if you think about it, it's just like a dripping faucet, hence drip campaigns. And automated programs do just that. They automate the sending of emails and tasks. And these are just different types of strategies that are used within the tool. So if you take a look here at the image on the slide, you can see in this automated program on the right, they are dripping emails throughout the program and using branching and logic to determine who gets that next drip. Traditionally, marketing automation has been used for demand generation and lead management, supporting programs such as lead nurturing, which I'm sure you've all heard about. But increasingly, marketing automation platforms are being extended to facilitate current customer marketing and support activities. And I know in healthcare, it is sometimes hard to relate to terms like lead nurturing and demand generation, but it is best to put your business thinking cap on rather than your typical healthcare thinking cap and start thinking about your potential patients as leads, patient journeys as stages in a sales pipeline or funnel, and your existing patient base as clients or customers. So let's take a look at a couple examples of marketing automation, one for lead nurturing and one for current customer marketing and support. An example of using marketing automation for lead nurturing could be creating a drip campaign to drive, let's say, bariatric service line volume. But keep in mind, the strategy could be used for all of your top service lines, not just bariatric surgery. The drip campaign would target all healthcare consumers that registered for your informational seminar on bariatric weight loss, but are not yet patients at your organization. The initial email in the drip campaign could be an ask to receive additional information on your bariatric services. Once opted in, your drip campaign would start with more top of the funnel or beginning stages of the patient journey content like common concerns of weight loss surgery and diet versus weight loss surgery. Then it would move on to more middle of the funnel content like seven weight loss surgery pros and cons and weight loss success stories at ABC Hospital. And then finally move to more bottom of the funnel evaluation content with topics like what kind of weight loss surgery is right for you at ABC Hospital and what to expect at your first appointment with a weight loss surgeon at ABC Hospital. Engagement from these assets will help you identify where potential patients are at in their patient journeys and allow your organization and specifically your service line managers to have a good temperature on what the funnel for that specific service line looks like. Additionally, if the drip campaign ends with an offer like, let's say, a free bariatric surgery screening, you'll know who to target and who is most likely to convert due to their drip campaign engagement. It is really, really important to keep in mind for certain service lines, as you all probably know, conversions can have a lead attribution period of 1 to 2 years from the first ad click to the first appointment. This is where lead nurturing and marketing automation really comes into play for your organization. An example of using marketing automation for a patient engagement strategy or current customer marketing would be, let's say, a new mom campaign. The campaign would email information to women who recently gave birth at your facilities, promoting different services for the new baby, women's health services for mom, and family services. So really there's 3 different tracks of information that mom could opt into. After mom converted and opted into one of the promoted programs, using behind the scenes logic within the tool that we talked about, she would receive automated emails regularly with education and information about the specific services she opted into and on a timely and regular basis, which is really important. Additionally, you could add, let's say, a non-responsive branch within the automated program that sent an email 8 days after and 18 days after, after that initial email send to try to get those that had not yet converted in the program to convert. And actually, Orlando Health used this exact strategy with the new mom campaign and saw a 37.4% open rate and a 10.2% click-through rate, converting 7.3% of those who received the emails into receiving one of those specific tracks of information. And when taking a step back and looking at all the channels driving engagement from that campaign, not just emails alone, the campaign landing page had a 75% conversion rate, and those are some pretty impressive results. Other examples of where marketing automation could come into play in healthcare would be surgery preparation and post-op instructions, chronic care management, top service line promotion, foundation promotion, and even internal process improvement like sending alerts to specific departments upon consumer engagement or form submission, or moving patients from one list to another within the platform based on their actions and engagement. The main goal of marketing automation software is to become proactive in your marketing tactics and automate engagement processes so your organization is continuously communicating with a wide range of consumers and patients on a regular basis. The automation helps to streamline workflows within your organization, allowing your team to get more done, ensuring your messaging is consistent, timely, and relevant to the receiver, and builds personal relationships with consumers, and that's what consumers want. And on the other hand, can you imagine the amount of time wasted manually trying to implement these strategies across your organization? It would be unmanageable and near impossible. Now that we know the difference between email marketing and marketing automation, I want to talk a little bit about the state of marketing automation in healthcare specifically. According to an article by American Marketing Association, the healthcare industry is grouped as a laggard for the adoption of marketing automation. The healthcare industry in general is a slower adapter to new technologies due to internal regulatory and workflow issues. But one of the biggest reasons for slower adoption to marketing automation is because what healthcare is quote unquote selling and what makes someone a customer isn't really as clear cut as it is in more commercial industries. This makes it harder for the healthcare industry to tie business use cases for the tool internally. And even those healthcare organizations that have already adopted marketing automation still are not quite confident in their marketing automation efforts. In our annual industry survey, Geometric, in partnership with eHealthcare Strategy and Trends, surveyed over 250 healthcare organizations. And those identified as leaders in the healthcare industry were still not confident in marketing automation and felt they were underperforming in that area. And just a little plug here, if you are interested in the full results from last year's survey, you can download it at that link above on the slide. And at the end of the presentation, we will let you know how you can get access to our new 2019 survey results. There are plenty of additional stats out there that support why healthcare organizations should make it a priority to implement a successful marketing automation strategy. Becker's Hospital Review reported 93% of adult patients want email communications with their physicians. And a study by a leading marketing automation platform reported checking emails as the #1 activity on the internet, with 94% of people getting a line for just this reason alone. So the moral of the story here is people are continually checking their email and want email communications from their practice. But email marketing can only go so far. You really need a strategy behind your emails, delivering the content your healthcare consumers want when they want it. Healthcare consumers are familiar with the personalized marketing approach that is becoming more and more the standard across all industries. No longer does a typical batch and blast email to all patients sign up for your newsletter generate the kind of engagement and conversions you need. Patients want a personalized experience with continuous touch points. With 43% of millennials likely to switch practices in the next few years, and 81% of consumers being unsatisfied with their healthcare experience, the importance of deploying patient engagement and retention strategies with the marketing automation tool should be at the very top of your list. It isn't enough to provide quality care to patients anymore. They want more. So, to help meet the needs of healthcare consumers and healthcare marketers, Geometric vetted numerous marketing automation platforms, and we chose Acton, an award-winning platform. We partnered with Acton for 3 main reasons. Number 1, they empower over 4,000 marketing teams to achieve purposeful and personalized customer engagement. Number 2, they are a recognized leader in the marketing automation space, winning awards from Research and Action, Forrester, Martech Breakthrough, and G2 Crowd. And Acton actually ranked as the global leader in the 2018 Research and Action Matrix for marketing lead management, and they really stood out for their innovation, fair pricing, and adjacent market integrations. And then finally, just their ability to enhance the healthcare digital patient journey, increasing patient acquisition and retention by building personal relationships with consumers by delivering the content they want when they want it. So now that you know a little bit about why we chose Acton and the difference between email marketing and marketing automation, I'm going to turn it over to Scott, who is the Senior Channel Account Manager for Acton, to dive a little deeper into the marketing automation realm.
Thanks, Jordan. So I love the statistic that you had out there about, even though the survey went through and people that have adapted it are feeling still like they're not 100% mature, bringing in some experience from other industries, this is pretty common. So even if you've got that strategy in place, don't worry. You're in really, really good company out there about folks that we're still seeing a lot of, scratching the surface of where we can go. So the teacher inside me loves to kind of go back and re-level, and Jordan did a great job of framing out everything. In fact, if we ended it right there, you guys would have a really good idea about marketing automation. But let's take a look at what we like to call 3 common stages of digital marketing maturity. And they're email marketers, multi-channel campaigners, and then adaptive marketing professionals. The most mature group, adaptive marketing pros, are on the far right. They're able to tailor their marketing activities based on customers or patients' behaviors, interests, and preferences. Once you see where you fit, you'll be better able to determine the steps you need to take, the steps to advance to the next level. So let's start with the first one, email marketers, and Jordan did a great job on this one. Despite many other digital options available today for many marketers, email is still their central digital channel. And as Jordan said, and I fully agree with it, email marketing is not going anywhere. In fact, I read a stat that within the next 5 years, there's going to be 3.8 billion additional unique emails added to the entire ecosystem of emails. So don't ever turn away from it. This is a great way of communicating with your patients. So those who live in this challenge of relying just on email marketing instead of taking full advantage of other digital options, this is the one who say they just fall into the category of an email marketer or email blaster. Organizations at this level of maturity focus on their digital efforts, like I said, primarily on email, with a strategy that's usually facilitated by an email service provider with relatively simple and limited functionality. Email blasters do a lot of manual work, scoring leads, managing their data. At this level, the heavy lifting really relies on personnel. CRM integrations like Dynamics or Salesforce or Sugar or any number of other CRMs out there that we natively connect to, they're really lacking at this point. Without those in place, it makes it challenging to measure results effectively. And this prevents accurate goal setting and KPI measurement. So a couple questions to ask if you're an email marketer. Just ask yourself, are we doing too much of the manual work of scoring, data management, and more manual heavy lifting? And then, do we lack the integration that supports the data flow between our digital marketing and our CRM tools? Best step toward being a multi-channel campaigner is to add more automation to your processes. And this is going to allow you to focus on strategy and spend less time on tactical execution. Doing so creates a cycle that will allow you to begin spreading your wings to embrace other digital channels and enhance your reporting. So if we go up into level 2, we call these the multi-channel campaigners. The defining characteristic of organizations at this level of maturity is their growth beyond just being email-centric in their marketing to a multi-channel digital marketing approach. Many companies are actively moving in this direction to better compete and to better respond to customers' multi-channel expectations. A few key characteristics that demonstrate that you're at this level is if you have a segmented campaign strategy that's segmented by, for example, behavior and profile data, automated scoring, data management, and data enrichment activities are in place, a defined funnel, what Jordan talked about earlier, moving from the top, mid to bottom of funnel, that's defined by specific campaigns with correlated attribution reports. Marketing organizations at this level do more advanced segmentation, and they've implemented marketing technologies that facilitate key process automations. Most of these organizations filled out their marketing stack over time by finding areas where they could steadily move forward with specific marketing use cases for greater productivity and effectiveness. And if we go up to the last level, the adaptive marketing professionals. So these are people who have already adopted technology that enables them to add personalization to their multi-channel marketing activities. And they're eliminating, let's just call it random acts of marketing in the process. At this stage, the real challenge is to remain at the forefront of digital marketing evolution and updating your strategy as new technologies become available, because they will become available. You can count on that. Overall, as an industry, we're at the beginning of a very long game, one that will be transformative. But there's no need to wait to see where the journey takes us. There are many aspects of marketing where adaptive marketing processes can apply transformative technologies today, making incremental changes that are small but hugely impactful. For example, predictive scoring, lookalike modeling, adaptive sending, content recommendations such as a subject line optimization can all foster small yet very significant improvements that add up over time. Make sure you move at your own speed. Some marketers have moved faster than others to embrace the change. And yeah, healthcare may be laggard, but even within that, there's some that are farther along the spectrum, some that are still taking, putting a toe in the water to figure out. Wherever you are in your journey, know that marketing organizations exist at every level of digital marketing maturity. And while it can be helpful to benchmark yourself against competition, it's more important to understand where your organization falls on the digital marketing maturity journey to set goals for advancement and improvement specific to your company. So Jordan did a good job of laying some stuff out. So what I like to do is, what actually comprises marketing automation? There are a lot of different components that make up marketing automation. With an email service provider, managing all these aspects can be extremely difficult to juggle. There would need to be multiple platforms involved and manual data consolidation to ensure that every platform is speaking properly to the other. with marketing automation, you have everything you need in one place. So let's go through it at a high level with each of these elements. We're going to start off with reporting. Reporting is extremely important, and actually reporting on what matters is crucial. As a marketer, you need clear, quick understanding of campaign performance in order to optimize the patient experience and grow revenue and engagement. With marketing automation, you can measure results in real time, and this will allow the immediate insight to performance so you can take action and make changes if needed. Segmentation. So marketing automation allows you to create specific segments that are well defined by combining different qualifications. Segmentation is the key ingredient that helps make your email messages personal and relevant to your audiences, boosting prospect engagement and increasing conversion. So with Acton, you can create really tightly targeted segments. In this example, you can profile attributes, observe behaviors, and incorporate those into a specified time frame. For example, if you discover you have a potential patient interested enough to attend 2 heart health information seminars and engaged enough to click through on 3 messages in your heart health education drip, maybe it's this time to send this group a special incentive to sign up for a heart screening. Next one is lead scoring. Lead scoring, real simply, it just uses points in a system to assign values based on predetermined criteria, such as the patient's interests and possible concerns, website visits, content downloads, event attendance, form completions, etc. Those points accrue over a set amount of time, and the sum of these points is the lead score. We'll talk about how this impacts your marketing efforts in more detail just a bit later. So the next one, we're going to jump over activity scoring and social prospecting because they really, we've already kind of talked about them a little bit. Social publishing. So this is an interesting one because as our society not only is graying up, but we're also seeing millennials, Gen Xers, Gen Yers, and social is becoming hugely, hugely important, and it's a channel of engagement. And you've got to be conscious of this because you can bet that your competition out there is figuring out and looking at some kind of social strategy, and that can be everything from LinkedIn, that's more likely to be Facebook and Twitter. But our social media tools help you track, interact, and build your audience all within the platform. You can find out what people are saying about you, target a specific keyword to monitor, or even follow other organizations out there, your competition. And Acton makes it simple to keep a pulse on what's happening on all things social. Social Publish is a simple way to share content through your social channels automatically. And like I said, we integrate automatically into Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn on a single publishing interface. And what's great is you can schedule and share any assets all from within Acton. Web forms. Okay. Key component, and it's a feature that Acton that we use regularly for our own marketing efforts, as does Geometric. Creating the forms within Acton really is quick and easy. You never have to start from scratch since we've got a library full of templates and they're available to you. And the creation of the forms is a simple drag and drop. Our forms are built for responsive design, which basically means that it's going to figure out if you're looking at your publication or your email or your web form on a phone or at a tablet or a laptop. So that's what responsive design means. Progressive profiling is another key feature. This will minimize your form fields, allowing you to gather information over time without negatively impacting your conversion rates. Basically what that means, I don't know if you've ever gone in and had this happen to you, but I've gone in to fill out a form, just all I wanted was a white paper. And oh my gosh, I feel like what I'm filling out is a complete history of myself. They, short of asking for my social security number, they're asking for all this information that's not relevant. And so what happens is you get a lot of form abandonment. And so by what happens with Acton, the way that we look at that is start off real simple. Just tell me your name, first and last, and your email address. That's all we need to know. When you come back in, the platform remembers that you've already filled that out and you can ask an additional question. do you have any health concerns? Or if you've got a drop down, you can start progressively profiling that out. And that's similar to on our next one here with landing pages. Again, these are another feature that we use very, very extensively with Act-On on multiple channels. Building a single landing page in Act-On, it helps drive conversions across we call it the buying journey, but for you in healthcare, think of it the patient journey, the patient cycle. They're a key component of marketing automation and are instrumental to digital marketing as they drive all types of conversions with simple signups, like as Jordan mentioned earlier, your newsletters. Or if you've got a doctor or a specific practice that has a blog, fantastic. That's a great way to use a landing page to get them to sign up. A lot of landing pages in healthcare are used for scheduling appointments and follow-up, requesting for information about specific topics. So you can see right there, healthcare is really starting to get into it and really understand how they can better emphasize the customer journey or your patient journey. Email nurturing. Okay, marketing automation gives you the tools quickly to easily set up strategic campaigns that deploy automatically based on your pre-programmed rules. I mean, Jordan had a great example. Email nurture campaigns and programs allow you to use conditional if-then logic to trigger the next step in a campaign. This results in potential and current patients getting content based on their activity that is personalized to their patient journey, helping them digest information at their own pace until they're ready to talk to someone within the system. Remember what Jordan was talking about earlier? She laid out a really logical progression of topics that moves the patient through the funnel for bariatric surgery. That was a great example, Jordan. So webinars, we're going to land on this one just at the end. As we all know, setting up and planning for a webinar can be sometimes tricky, and it takes time to plan and execute, but a lot of the heavy lifting can be alleviated with marketing automation. And Act-On has integrations with WebEx and GoToWebinar, which makes it a lot easier to organize, promote, and manage your events. And what we're seeing now is that healthcare providers are starting to do a lot more webinars to communicate with their patients across a wide range of not only topics, but also large geographic areas. It's a lot easier to promote this if your organization is covering several states, for example. And it's also allowing you to see how your constituents are likely to interact with you to provide you with more relevant forms of engagement. Okay. We went over a lot of information about email marketing and marketing automation, but let's simplify even just a little bit before we move on. What's this all about at the end of the day, and why are all these tools in one place? What's the big deal? And why does marketing automation even exist? So look at it this way: every single time a current or potential patient interacts with your brand, it means something, and it means something about who they are, what they want, and where they are in their patient journey. So the idea behind consolidating these tools into one centralized command center is to enable the marketers to track, measure, and analyze those interactions to enable them to market. And we'll use the phrase sell smarter, but maybe just engage smarter and help move those people from, gee, I need to figure out whether I need to do something about my weight, to, yeah, I need to go ahead and engage and I need to schedule this surgery. So it's about connecting the dots between these activities and giving you the insight and intelligence to be able to respond in real time to patients as they interact with you and get to know you. Okay, here we go. 5 key indicators you're ready for marketing automation. So first step, we've talked about email marketing services, the core component to many outbound marketing strategies. However, batch and blast is now a thing of the past. A one-size-fits-all approach, it lacks customization. And to gain loyalty, your patient loyalty, you need to adapt to what your patients want to see. They're just not numbers in a database. They're people with unique interests. And in today's hyper-personalized world, they expect to be treated that way. Instead of blanketing your potential patient or lead lists with one-off emails, automated drip campaigns give you the ability to plan out the interaction pathways that progress them through messaging streams based on their behaviors and preferences. Lead nurturing, a phrase that Jordan used earlier, it's a proven method for turning potential patients into your existing client database. It's done by contacting healthcare consumers over a set amount of time and providing relevant content that eases them through their patient's buyer's journey. And why lead nurturing is so important? Lead nurturing keeps your brand, your hospital, or your clinic front and center with potential patients, and it lets you build trust over time. With Act-On, you can set up trigger emails to be sent to potential or existing patients based on specific actions, like filling out a form or registering for a class. This allows you to target those patients based specifically on their actions and what information they have consumed on your site. These workflows can be sophisticated, and having to manually segment your potential and current patients with an email service provider can be very time-consuming, if not practically impossible, and it doesn't incorporate all of their behavioral data. So moving on to number 2, metric and measurements, critical. Unfortunately, fragmented technologies create a number of challenges for marketers. It's extremely time-consuming to pull reports from multiple platforms and try to aggregate and consolidate the data. The result is usually an inability to analyze and optimize the customer experience across multiple channels. If these various data points are not put together correctly, it can result in a lost opportunity for your organization and make it difficult to properly measure your return on your investment of your marketing programs. With marketing automation, unified data is key, and we all know in marketing how important it is to track that ROI. You need to be looking at how all your marketing activities are working together rather than measuring separate emails and programs. Gathering data and insight analytics in one place can help you attribute revenue and adapt your marketing to suit your patients' needs and create target patient profiles or personas. Okay, number 3, lead lists and service line managers, or prioritize lead with the sales and service line management alignment. I think all marketers would prefer the latter. Lead scoring allows you to pinpoint your hottest prospects and patients, and everybody's not created equal in this way. Some are ready to schedule an appointment right now, some will be ready soon, and some are just entering the funnel. Lead scoring makes it easier to sort out the warm leads from the cold leads, and a good lead scoring system watches for online and offline engagement. This signals which increases marketing's ability to pass qualified leads over into those frontline managers and lead managers. And lead scoring automates the process of monitoring patients' online body language and flags key digital buying signals, and so that service line managers, nurse navigators, call centers, and providers know who and when to call. This is all done automatically within a marketing automation platform, meaning no more manual lead lists. Your team can focus on getting patients in who are ready to schedule and driving increased profitability, rather than qualifying patients who are at the very beginning of their patient journey and exploration. Having something in place like this makes scaling your company pretty seamless, no matter how your business grows. The integrated single platform design of a marketing automation solution enables you to easily manage your patients, potential patients, campaigns, and data. Automated workflows and nurturing programs are size agnostic, so they can handle thousands, hundreds, or millions of contacts all at once. We just spoke about simplifying lead scoring and how qualifying potential patients makes it easier for service line managers, which is a great segment into number 4, enablement. Marketing automation lets your contact teams and marketing bridge the gap between hopeful possibilities and those scheduled and engaged patients. With Act-On, marketers and their sales service counterparts can define and agree on marketing qualified, accepted, and qualified leads. By establishing these qualifications and processes early on, it helps to instill trust and alignment between your service line managers and the marketing department, even sales, if we call them that. When thresholds are set so that these engagement-ready leads get automatically delivered It helps them be confident about the quality of leads that marketing is generating since they understand the scoring process. And leads that aren't ready, they can be returned to the marketing for further nurturing until they're ready to buy or schedule that all critical appointment. So finally, number 5, integrating with other marketing channels. Most companies, no matter their size, need one system that manages and tracks behaviors across multiple channels, and a system that encompasses all the benefits of email, but with linkages to track and aggregate ongoing cross-channel customer engagement and patient engagement. That's where marketing automation comes in. Email marketing tools are primarily designed to be good at one thing, email. But of course, most customers don't interact with your organization just using email alone. Multi-channel engagement is a core differentiator for marketing automation. And marketing automation combines all the benefits of an email marketing solution along with integrated capabilities that would otherwise need to be consolidated using various standalone technologies. But by combining most functionalities in a unified platform, marketing automation serves the needs of both the marketing and the sales departments through integration and personalization. And ultimately, it has a greater impact on the business as a whole. So, using the example of your CRM. Again, I mentioned earlier, regardless of whether it's Dynamics, Sugar, Salesforce, Zoho, any of those CRMs, being able to get a complete picture between what's the activity going on with the marketing and being able to push that over automatically into your CRM so that your line managers can see how, okay, this campaign was done, this is how this patient has been engaged with us over time. You can't get that information with standalone technology. So having systems that work together, absolutely critical. And it simplifies the process of segmenting your audience based on, demographic or behavioral information. Segmenting your audiences based on various attributes such as patients, community members, donors, or potential employees that you're recruiting. There's another great tool is being able to keep in contact. We think about reaching out specifically to our patients, engaging them, but there's another portion of that of people that you're trying to get to come to your organization. Sometimes that journey takes a while to complete from the point that they start engaging with you to the point that they become an employee. And again, think about it this way. What a great tool to be able to use to communicate with your own employees automatically and without having to do this manual. You compose custom messaging and serve content that resonates most with that audience. And you can customize forms to help build out the segments that you're looking for. As I mentioned earlier, act-on forms allow for progressive profiling. That, again, it makes it easy to gather information, the information that you're looking for over a longer period of time without interrupting what we're going to call conversion rates, moving them from potential to actual. So if you're doing one or more of the 5 things that we've just covered, you should consider bringing them all into one system. And as I mentioned earlier, really it's more important to understand where your organization falls on the digital marketing maturity journey to set goals for advancement improvement and to really make sure that you're just moving at your own speed. And then while you move from one level of maturity to another with your marketing automation journey, it's always good to think about the future and update your strategies as new technologies become available. The future of marketing automation is becoming adaptive. And again, we mentioned earlier, making incremental changes that are small but hugely impactful. So the last item on our agenda is to discuss why is marketing automation the way forward. With all the digital noise out there, personalization is the key to stand out. Everyone wants that moment when they think an organization really gets them and their needs. And adapting your message to an individual is a great start to getting a patient's attention. Nurture your leads with relevant content at the right time. You can create programs to suit everyone's needs. Are they looking at patient testimonials? Then maybe they're interested in seeing more. Did they download a piece of content around your foundation? Well, maybe they would be interested in your donation program. Real-time alerts allow for instant notification for contact, leads, and user activities. get alerts based off of contact actions, such as email opens, link clicks, and web browsing activity, and CRM user activities, such as new patients or incoming call centers calls. Marketing automation allows you to automatically notify the service line managers within their CRM of highly qualified prospects and their behaviors. And thanks to real-time alerts, your marketing campaigns will become dynamic. They'll also help initiate authentic dialogues between the organization and every prospective patient interested in the products that you have to offer. And we've talked about lead nurturing today, and the reason for that is lead nurturing. It ensures that all the money and effort invested in generation isn't being wasted. It lets you move for it. Excuse me. It lets you further hone in on the most qualified patients, but also ensure that those qualified leads make it to the end of the buyer's journey and are converted into actual patients, or that they schedule that surgery, or they schedule that follow-up doctor's appointment. Marketing automation is one of the core components of any successful lead nurturing program, and it's a powerful marketing automation solution provides an abundance of online lead generation tools that help qualify and convert more leads faster. And it's also an essential element to have in place to increase your revenue and your overall business growth.
Looks like first one's kind of vague, a little more general. So maybe Scott, if you want to take this one. Someone's just wondering, where do I start with all this? So that was kind of a lot of information. Do you have kind of some tips or guidelines for somebody that's just starting this process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one I would automatically say is talk to Geonetric. These guys are fantastic allies for you that can help you frame out your technology and strategy. And really what I look at with this is the idea of a crawl, walk, run. If all you're doing is email, that's great. You're at least starting and you're doing something. So take a look at that and, just bite off what you can chew. Sit down with those service line managers and just go, look, what have we been doing right? What have you would like to see improve? What changes do we need to make? And then again, I can't emphasize enough, partner with these wonderful folks at Geometric that have specialized in your industry, the healthcare industry, and have worked with a number of different clients to help them frame out their digital strategies. Again, just understand it's a journey. You're on it, and that's fantastic. That's kind of my generic answer to it, Cole. Hopefully that helps a little bit for the person that asked that.
I think so. Getting a few just kind of logistical questions here, Scott, that are Acton focused. First one, is Acton a CRM?
Great question, and we do get that quite a bit. We are not a CRM. We determined that we wanted to be CRM agnostic, so that's why we connect into a lot of different ones. There are some platforms out there that are tied into a specific platform, to a specific CRM. Now, what that also means is Acton can be a standalone platform just for marketing, and it's kind of funny in today's age. One of the still number one CRMs out there that we see people using is Excel, and it's kind of funny to think about, but really that's the case. So we are not a CRM. We want to plug into it, and if your CRM is Excel, we can actually get stuff going back and forth between the two. But that's our position that we wanted to stay just real generic.
That makes sense. The next one, well, there's a couple here. I can actually answer one of them. They're wondering if Acton provides social media analytics, and I can say that yes, it does. We actually do use the publishing tool within Acton for social. Specifically, this person's wondering about if it connects to Instagram, and I do not think it does, but I guess we at Geometric do not have an Instagram account, but I don't remember seeing that as an option. Scott, do you want to answer that, and then also maybe talk a little bit more about the social media analytics that Acton provides?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't connect into Instagram, and the reason behind that is there was some serious security loopholes in it that we made a determination that that's not something that until they really lock it down a little bit more, not something we want to really engage with. But from the social tools that are there, boy, it's everything from what tweets have been clicked in, what articles have been on LinkedIn or Facebook, pulling those analytics in, what is actually getting the most views. The interesting thing that we see a lot of use for these days, I mentioned a key word. So if you're a clinic focused specifically on a specific area, Jordan used, bariatric surgery. You can actually do a keyword tag on that to find out what type of information are people looking for out on social? Are they following anybody in particular that's a leader in that? So the question about the analytics there, it's huge, and we try to tie them in very specifically into what's most relevant for your organization. So a lot of stuff out there. Hopefully that answered that question.
We have Brian wondering.
And as always,
sorry, go ahead.
As always, one of the things, if you want to see a demo, we can work together with Geonetric and Acton to pull that together for you. So just thought I'd drop that in.
Great, thanks. Yep. So we have Brian here. He's wondering how many members the average automation team has, and I have a feeling this is going to be one of those questions where the answer is it varies. But I'll kind of, Jordan, Scott, I don't know if you want to speak to that more specifically.
I'll take a first swing, and absolutely it varies. I mean, we've got organizations that are using the platform that are one person marketing teams. They do it all, up to 20, 30 people on a marketing team, and it depends on the maturity. It depends on where you want to go. Jordan, do you want to answer that one maybe from the Geonetric perspective?
Kind of the same thing over here. And I want to make sure, are you asking for the size of the marketing team, or like what are list size averages for what you're seeing internally for the tool? So yeah, so we internally have 3 main users of our marketing automation, and it's how we're divided up here in Geonetric. We kind of have some sales folks dipping their fingers in there a little bit, as well as marketing. So we use it uniquely in how we're doing it today too. But what it should do, what I want to emphasize, is make it so you would have less people having to do less with the team. The tool should kind of take on some of the responsibilities in that automation process, so allow you to do other things within the marketing team.
Agreed. And Jordan, I would jump in on that one too and say companies that have instigated or gone ahead and put in Acton, one of the comments that we do hear back is, boy, what was formerly took 3 people to do this, now we can do automated reporting, for example. So rather than have 2 dedicated people pulling reports every week, we were able to reallocate that person over to do something that maybe was more of their passion. They wanted to do content, or they wanted to do those blog posts. So they really had a joy of putting together newsletters. So it took not only their reporting up because of the automation, but it allowed them to be able to leverage the tools within Acton to do an even better newsletter or pull in WordPress or things like that to really use.
And I know this wasn't one of the questions asked, but one thing I do think is unique about Acton that I would like Scott to talk to is how you do it for list size and sends. Like, so every time you send to Bobby, for example, it's not 3 email sends, it's 1, because it's 1 active content in your database. I wanted you to talk about that a little bit, because I think that's one unique aspect that you guys do there at Acton.
Yeah, no problem, Jordan. And that is 100% very unique. There's other platforms out there that will charge you by your entire database. And the position that Acton took with that was, are you ever really truly going to send something to your entire database in 1 month? Maybe, but the odds are you're always going to be sending a portion out. And so the way Acton wants to look at it is, who are you going to market to uniquely within 1 month? So if I was in your organization and I had said last month, for example, that I had an interest in weight loss. And so at the beginning of the month, you send me a newsletter about it based off of my preference that I've told you about. And then you do something to follow up in the middle of the month to me. And then at the end of the month, maybe there's a specific promotion going on for a class that I should attend nearby where I live. I only count, even though you sent me 3 unique emails, I still only count as one contact within your database being consumed. So what that does as well, by not charging by your entire database, it lets you start doing some real unique segmentation. For example, when I mentioned myself, I gave a couple of key pieces that you could actually create a segment based off of. The first one would be, I indicated an interest in weight loss, but then there was a combinational in there that I mentioned of a geographic location. So I'm based out of Portland, Oregon. So if you've got a clinic that is there, you can target me specifically for that segment of weight loss in Portland, Oregon. You can go down even further down the funnel as far as segmentation and combinational things of, weight loss information, male, over 50, that is in Portland, Oregon. In fact, the zip code that I reside in is 97008. So you can finite that segment down really, really specifically. But we really want to make it an option to you to get that full database into the platform so that you can start segmenting. And this is you can do pushes and pulls from your CRM as well. So again, it can be a little bit confusing, but we call them active contacts. And real simply, all an active contact is a unique email that you are going to market to within any given month. And it doesn't have to be the same one month over month over month. You can have those people moving in and out of campaigns like Jordan showed earlier. Maybe you drop them into a drip campaign that they're going to be in there for 2 months. If they don't take the right action, you're going to go ahead and drop them out. Maybe somebody else has come into that segment and you're going to continue to drip to them. So different than what you normally see with the industry, very unique. And it's something that you mentioned Gartner and Forrester and several others out there. They really love the way that we approach it rather than a lot of the other tools out there off the database size. Did that answer kind of what you wanted to have me cover, Jordan?
Yep, thank you.
You bet.
I think lastly, we got a few questions about this, and I want to make sure that we leave enough time to answer it fully, or I guess as fully as we can, but obviously working with hospitals and healthcare systems, and anytime you're marketing, HIPAA is going to come into the equation. So Jordan, maybe you want to take a stab at this first, but I think what we boiled it down to was, how do you comply with HIPAA in your email marketing efforts?
Well, I guess for starters, what's really important with email marketing is you want to receive explicit authorization from patients before sending them emails and using PHI of any kind when creating those emails or email campaigns. So even if a practice collects emails as part of, let's say, patient registration, they still need to gain authorization before sending any additional emails. And then also, you need to encrypt any emails sent to patients containing PHI, or just better yet, send it through a secure email service such as Acton. This really ensures only the sender and recipient have access to the email's contents. Any servers that store emails or email data containing PHI are encrypted then with offsite backup, which is important. And then I guess I would say finally, you need to remember a lot of this stuff isn't well litigated at this stage, so it's very important you work with your compliance staff to make sure that you're staying within the bounds of your organization's interpretations of those rules as well.
So with that said, we will see you all next month. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.